we are looking at all of the nerfs and buffs that are coming into season 2 of Marvel Rivals. I've actually not got a chance to sit down, look at all these. Up first, looking at the Vanguard category, going into our boy Captain America. Steve will undergo some adjustments to his survivability, leading to a slight decrease in his overall resilience, meaning they're reducing his base health from 675 to 650 and reducing the shield value of Living Legend from 400 to 350. Okay, so I think actually moving into season 1, or at least season 1.5, they buffed my man up a pretty good amount. I guess now they've decided, hey, that was a little crazy. He's got some, we gave him the damage stuff. Let's kind of knock him back down a little bit, which seems fair. Moving into Doctor Strange, this has got to be a nerf across the board because he's still like top tier. Everybody's still trying to make Doctor Strange, especially like high tier stuff, boys. The Sorcerer Supreme will see a reduction in his offensive capabilities, limiting his battlefield control. He decreases the Daggers of Danak damage per projectile from 18 to 16, and reduces the Maelstrom of Madness conversion ratio of dark magic to damage from 1.3 to 1.2. So not crazy adjustments here, but I do appreciate the fact that this is making him less of a damage dealer and more focused on the tank. Because really, like, if you were a really good Doctor Strange, you could do it all. I honestly think he needed this nerf just so we can see some more, a different variety of tanks get thrown into the mix, especially at higher ranks and stuff. Looking at Hulk, the Green Goliath will boast enhanced maneuverability and improved survivability upon entering combat. So it looks like our boy is getting a buff here. Increase the base movement speed from 600 to 650. Sweet. Hulk is sprinting. Reduce cooldown time for Indestructible Guard from 12 seconds to 10. Love decreased cooldown times. Decreased minimum charge time for Incredible Leap from 0.7 seconds to 0.5. So Hulk across the board getting great adjustments here. My man sprinting. My man using his abilities faster. Because I'd love to see more Hulk, less Strange. That's just me. Magneto. The Master of Magnetism will experience a slight decrease in the frequency of his ultimate ability. Increase energy cost from Meteor M from 3100 to 3400. This is crazy to me because not only do I hate Magneto's ult and think most of the time it's awful unless you're top tier and you know exactly how to use it. They said, let's make sure they're not fearing Magneto that often. Like, let's reel it in a little bit. They don't need to be fearing Magneto that often, chat. Crazy. It's not a terrible change, I don't think. I'm just not good with that ult anyway. So like, it's not helping me or hurting me in the slightest here. Moving into Penny Parker, Penny will receive enhancements of her primary attack damage efficiency and a boost to her survivability and combat capabilities. Cyberweb Cluster now has a chance to crit, reduce movement speed penalty while firing Cyberweb Cluster from 40% to 20%, and increase her base health from 650 to 750. Oh my god. A whole 100 health increase, and now she moves faster. I didn't like Penny to begin with just because I feel like the webs on the ground and the mines on the ground are so aggravating to deal with. But gosh, to make her 20% faster while firing and increase your health by 100 is kind of a crazy change. W change or L change, chat? You guys tell me. The Thing, the ever-loving blue-eyed Thing, will see a slight reduction in his damage reduction effect. Decrease in battled leaps damage reduction effect for himself and teammates from 30% to 25%. That's not that crazy. It's not a crazy change, honestly. I've not really got a whole lot of game time with the Thing though, if you want me to be honest. So I'm not thinking that's anything wild. Moving into Thor. Thor will receive an increase in survivability. So we're increasing his base health from 525 to 600. So 75 increase, and increasing his movement speed from 600 to 650. That's sick. And I can get behind that. I feel like Thor was moving a little bit sluggish. So now we got some more health and some more speed. I think it's a welcome change. I'm happy with that change. Fao Shao. All right, that wraps up the Vanguard. Moving into the Duelist. We've got Black Widow receiving optimizations for her shooting experience. What? Added a new effect where Black Widow can directly shoot after releasing the second kick of Edge Dancer and after using Electroplasma Explosion, which is her ultimate ability. So now she can just shoot faster after using certain abilities. I don't think Widow's ever been a real problem. Like, I don't think she's ever been that great, if you want me to be honest. And maybe I've just not been using her right or whatever. I'm not entirely sure. But she's never seemed like a big issue to me. So this maybe makes her a bit more viable. bit more useful. Moving down into Hawkeye, Clint's mobility while drawing his bow, enhancing his combat capabilities, and increasing the threat of his ultimate ability. So they're reducing the slow effect while charging the bow from 30% to 20%. Okay. Increasing both instances of damage for hypersonic arrow from 50 to 55, and they're decreasing the energy cost for Hunter's Sight, which is his ultimate, from 3700 to 3100, and improve the bow draw speed increase from 1.35 times to 1.5 times. So they're basically just making our boy move faster, fire faster, and do just a little bit more damage, which makes sense. I mean, I could see Hawkeye being a bit sluggish at times. Moving into Hela, the Goddess of Death will see a reduction in mobility while slightly enhancing her offensive powers. That's crazy. So they're increasing the cooldown time for Astral Flock from 12 seconds to 15 seconds. So that's her little bird ability, whatever. Increase spell field damage of Piercing Knight from 30 to 35, and decreasing the cooldown time for Soul Drainer from 12 seconds to 10 seconds. So we're making her slower, barely, but making her deal more damage. So I guess her mobility's taking a little bit of a hit, but when you have to wait just 3 more seconds to get in and out of engagements doesn't seem like that big of a deal to me, especially for the trade-off of more damage and a quicker cooldown for a damage ability. I don't know, I feel like Hela's a hard one. I feel like she's been adjusted back and forth a couple times. I don't hate these changes, but I could be ignorant. You guys tell me if it's terrible. Looking at Human Torch, Johnny's attack feedback and survivability are being improved to enhance his impact across various combat scenarios. Oh my god, these are some long ones. Reduce attack interval for Fire Cluster from 0.6 to 0.5 seconds. The launch timing of the primary attack projectile has been advanced. Okay. Increase the cooldown for Flaming Meteor from 12 to 15 seconds, but added a new effect. After releasing the Flaming Meteor, you immediately gain 75 bonus health, which will start to fall off 3 seconds later at a rate of 30 per second. Okay, so making him, I guess, increasing his survivability overall was kind of the goal here. I didn't think he was super squishy before, but I guess just, again, trying to adjust him for different combat scenarios, making him more useful across the battlefield. Iron Man, what are we doing? Iron Man is seeing improvements to his mid-range combat effectiveness. Slightly reduced Iron Man's hitbox size? That's crazy. Was his hitbox too big before? What's going on here? That's wild. This is probably the first hitbox size change we've seen in the game. New feature, gains 100 bonus health activating Armor Overdrive or Gamma Overdrive. That will start to fall off 5 seconds later at a rate of 30 per second. Okay, so this is cool. I appreciate the fact that like we're getting some abilities here that like let us get a quick overshield. I think that's going to help out. It's not going to make survivability crazy, but I think it's going to help out a ton for like quick fight engagements and stuff. The hitbox was basically a big block. Dude, it had to be for them to change it. That's wild. They're going to increase Iron Fist combat effectiveness against vanguards. Okay. A slight improvement to his mobility and a slight reduction to his survivability when first entering the battlefield. So they're reducing the bonus max health gain from Harmony Recovery from 150 to 100, but slow the fall off rate from 25 down to 15. Okay, that seems fair, because man, that fell off so quick. It's going to lower the fixed damage of Yachi Chungkyun from 10 to 9, but increase the percentage damage of the enemy's max health per strike from 1.7 to 2.1. And it's going to decrease the cooldown of the Kunlun kick from 12 to 10 seconds. Okay, so that seems pretty fair, I think. I think these are some good options, because honestly, this kick did feel like it took forever to actually get a reuse. The health is interesting. So now it's gonna drop off slower, but you're not getting as much before. I'm not entirely sure if this is actually going to increase his combat effectiveness against vanguards, but we'll see. Mr. Fantastic. Good God, they have done so much to our boy. They're enhancing Reed's capabilities while making some balance adjustments to his ultimate energy charge rate, adding additional controllability and optimizing the release experience of his ultimate ability. So they're increasing his health from 350 to 375. They're boosting the damage of Stretch Punch. They're boosting the damage of Stretch Punch from 60 to 65 and from 75 to 80 while inflated. Flexible elongation, enemies within range now suffer a 35% slow effect. It reduces the flexible elongation cooldown from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. They're reducing the elasticity gain from elastic, just his passive stuff, from 30 to 20, While the elasticity provided by stretch punches increased from 5 to 8, after entering the inflated state, the bonus health provided to self has been reduced from 450 to 400. Brand new feature for our boy. When Mr. Fantastic uses Brainiac Bounce, immediately gain bonus health equal to that gained when entering inflated state. Honestly, that probably should have been the case before, if you want me to be honest. He probably should have already been getting that, so like it makes sense to add it here. A lot of adjustments for Mr. Fantastic, which works because honestly I hate the guy. I do not like him whatsoever. All right, Moon Knight. They're increasing his crescent arc projectile speed from 120 meters per second to 150. The Moonblade's getting a new effect, so you're gaining 25 bonus health with each enemy hit, up to a max of 100. 3 seconds after the bonus health starts to fall off. So this is the third character, at least the third character at this point, to where the ability is now also allowing them to kind of self-heal, which I appreciate. Like, we're really trying to increase survivability across the board. I wonder, with all of these changes being made, how much is that going to affect like how long engagements last and how many like last second getaways are being made. So I wonder like what kind of ripple effects this is going to have throughout the whole game space. This is insane. We're reducing Wanda's survivability, but increasing her threat level against strategists and duelists while optimizing her ultimate ability release experience. We're removing chaos control percentage damage while increasing fixed damage from 60 per second to 80 per second. Okay. Increasing the burst projectile damage from 35 to 40 and spell field damage from 35 to 40. Increasing the cooldown of mystic projection from 8 to 10. And reduce phase state time from 2 seconds to 1.5. Okay. Rework the slow effect of reality erasure to start at 1.5 seconds instead of starting immediately, with a linear increase to a 35% slow over 3.5 seconds. What's happening here? Okay. I don't really understand any of this that's going on here. Like, I don't really get what's happening here. Oh no, what did they do to my boy Star-Lord? Reducing Peter's damage output and the efficiency of his ultimate ability charge rate. Reducing the blaster barrage damage from 80 per second to 75. Introduce a new damage fall-off mechanic, starting at 4 meters and maxing out at 80% reduction at 8 meters. Oh my god. No way. That's going to be brutal. Because, I mean, before you could really just like kind of beam people. Now you've really got to be up close and personal. Which, I mean, I feel like my play style was kind of that anyway, but that's crazy. They're lowering Bucky's threat level against Vanguards and reducing the margin for error in his ultimate ability. So they're increasing the cooldown time for Bionic Hook from 8 to 12 seconds, and they are reducing the base damage of Kraken Impact from 100 to 80, but lower the culling threshold from 20% of maximum health to 15. Okay, interessante. Who are you talking about, Kai? Winter Soldiers? Oh gosh. And then Wolverine. They're tuning Logan's rage acquisition rate and slightly lowering his control intensity over enemies. Increased rage gain from Savage Claw hits from 7 to 10, while rage gain from Berserk Claw Strike has been decreased from 7 to 5. Reduce rage gain from Feral Leap from 20 to 10, and from Vicious Rampage from 20 to 15. However, rage gained from taking damage has been increased from 3 to 5. Okay. Reduce the time an enemy is knocked down after impact. Okay, so they nerfed it just a little bit, but it doesn't seem crazy. Oh gosh. And then moving into our strategist. All right. We're slightly reducing the frequency of Adam's abilities and adjusting the healing provided by his ultimate ability. Increase the cooldown for Soul Bond from 30 seconds to 40 seconds. And his ultimate now restores 30% of a fallen ally's maximum health instead of a fixed 100 health. That's crazy. The Vanguards are going to get more health. Honestly, that's a really good fix. That's a really good change, I think. I don't like Adam because I think Adam's kind of goated, at least as a DPS anyway. But I think that's definitely going to help as far as his healing aspect goes. All right, optimizing the logic of Cloak and Dagger's ultimate ability. After activating Eternal Bond, the duration of the first 3 healing zones will no longer be calculated separately. Instead, they will remain active until the duration of the final healing zone ends, at which point all will be removed together. Okay, so basically it's staying up longer this time. Vanguard gets more health while Iron Fist gets less damage. Bruh, that's how it works. All right. Invisible Woman, they're decreasing the shield value of Guardian Shield from 300 to 250. Not a crazy change. To Loki, they're increasing regeneration domain cooldown from 25 seconds to 30 seconds. I think that's fair. Regeneration domain is a crazy powerful ability, and this 5 seconds I think is going to make a big difference. I mean, Loki's a great strategist, honestly. All right. Mantis, to emphasize strategy over speed, we're modifying Mantis's health and buff mechanics. So we're, okay, great, making her more squishy. We're taking her health from 275 down to 250. And the effects of Healing Flower and Allied Inspiration can now be stacked up to a maximum of 16 seconds. Okay, gotcha. That's actually pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And then moving into Rocket. Rocket's healing abilities will see some adjustments to enhance team survivability while balancing his mobility. Decrease the healing area of repair mode spheres from 70 health per second to 50 health per second, but add a new effect of one-time healing of 55 to allies hit. Projectile speed reduction increased from 4.5 meters per second to 7 meters per second. Okay, so does that mean the projectile speeds are now moving faster when they slow down or slower? Extended cooldown for jetpack dash from 6 seconds to 10. Reduce the dash distance from 10 to 8. I don't think that's a crazy change. Reduces ultimate damage boost from 40% to 25, but added a new effect. During the ability's duration, linked allies will receive an additional 100 bonus health points per second, capping at 150. After breaking the link, this bonus starts to fall off after 1 second at a rate of 75 per second. Additionally, increase the energy cost from 3,700 to 4,000. So what? They're making his ult more of a healing ult, like less damage, more of a healing ult, which a lot of people were complaining about. I still don't think that solves the problem of making it actually useful, if you want me to be honest. Like a lot of people want like invisible womans or atoms where they can just like basically headbutt an ult and be fine. It's interesting, you know. This is definitely gonna like change his landscape up a bit. This is cool though, that like if an ally's actually hit, they're getting 55 health plus the healing as it goes by. So that's cool. I'd like to see Rocket be able to put out more healing, honestly. Not too bad changes. I think we're definitely making Vanguards more tanky. It seems like, I guess they're probably trying to counter the dive meta, and then trying to adjust some of the supports, I guess, to be, it seems like they're trying to make the tanks better against the dive, and then the supports not being a triple stack death threat.